Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to set up before your first coffee this Breville Grind and Brew coffee maker model number BDC650SS. So I'll be following the manual. This is what you need to do in order first before you brew your first cup of coffee. It's called the setup. So let's talk about the bean hopper. If your bean hopper was not installed, you're going to put it in. Make sure this is in. There's the align, it goes in. Make sure that's in lock. You've got your brush there. Now you're going to put this back on if it wasn't on already. You're going to turn that to the lock position till it clicks. Then you're going to put this back on. Now this is called the grinder control. You're going to turn this, but you'll see the display will change. It's coarser when I go to the right, that's the coarser grind. When I go to the left, that's finer grind. The manual says to start out in 3 and see how it tastes and go from there. I also have a video on how to calibrate it. There's a procedure in the manual on how to calibrate the grinder with a scale. Check out that video. The next, you're going to push this open button. And we're going to make sure this filter basket is installed. And there's your filter. Now you can either use a paper filter or this reusable filter, but you can't use both. It's either or. But for this procedure, we're going to leave the filter out, but we need this basket in. Down here, we've got the carafe. Make sure this little tray is in. We've got our drip tray. Make sure our drip tray stuff's in. The carafe, make sure it's in lock. We can put it in unlock. We can make sure it's empty. Put it in, and then we're going to close this and make sure it clicks. See how it says coffee maker filter? Make sure it clicks. Next, you're going to pop this open. You're going to fill this up with water. It'll show you how much water is going in. So I'm at 12. I already filled mine up, and the little full thing pops up, and it beeps at you when it's full. Next, you're going to hit the menu button and set the time. Set clock. So all I did was hit this menu button. See how this is flashing? I'm going to press it, and I'm going to set whatever time it is. Whenever I get the time set, press it again. It beeps and memorizes it. So before you brew a pot of coffee, they want you to run a fresh pot of water through it. So we're going to do a full 12-ounce pot of water, or 12-cup pot of water through the machine to kind of clean it out before you use it for the first time. We're not going to be grinding any beans for this. You can put the beans in if you want. Your beans go right there. Put the lid on. Again, I've got that set. So you're going to come over here. This changes it between single serve and the carafe. I'm going to rotate this, put it on the carafe until it says 12. Make sure I've got 12 on the water side. Now this selector, I need the strength. If I've got it on a certain strength, when I press the start button, it'll grind coffee. We don't want to grind coffee. We want to pretend like we've got our own coffee, pre-ground coffee in here. So we're going to put it on the words pre-grind. That means it won't turn the grinder on. It's just going to brew that hot water through the machine. So it's on pre-grind. You're simply going to hit the start button. What that's going to do is that's just going to run that fresh water through the machine and give it kind of a final rinse before you start using it. When you're done, you're simply going to throw the water out and it's ready to make coffee. It displays a countdown timer, so this will take 11 minutes to brew that fresh water through there. Check out my next video where I do a detailed video. I show you how to make coffee. I also show you how to descale the machine. So after you've used it for a while, you should descale it about every 3 to 6 months. So the display changes to preheating, to brewing. You'll hear kind of some levers. You'll hear some things moving and going up and down, but it's just all part of the brew process. And that water coming out of there will be really hot, so be careful. Okay, it'll beep at you when it's done. Open this up. Now, just dry this off. Whenever you brew coffee, the grinder's gonna shoot coffee in here. We don't want this to be wet. So take this off, dry this out, then put your reusable filter in or your 8 to 12 cup paper filter in, and then close this. Then you can switch your strength back to whatever strength you want, because then the next time you brew coffee, it will turn the grinder on, because that's probably the main reason you bought this, is so it would grind the coffee into the brew basket, and then it would brew the water. And it doesn't do that when we got it on pre-ground. So check out my next video on detailed on how to brew coffee with it. Thanks everybody for watching.